Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of Kingdoms. We have another house in the village, in the Roman Kingdom. It's looking good. This happened during a live stream yesterday, so good stuff, good stuff. Also, over here, I wanted to actually show this to you because I talked about it a little bit in the last episode, but I didn't actually show you. So, up here, a lot of you had said on the episode that we built the warehouse that we should replace that top line of slabs with carpet. And I completely forgot that carpet is like a valid way to stop mobs from spawning. So great suggestion. I went ahead and did that. We've got black carpet up there now. And it looks great. It looks really good. You can barely tell the difference between the carpet and the nether brick unless you're right on top of it. So I think that's perfect and great suggestion. I also did some work inside the warehouse that we'll look at in just a second. Apparently I need to go sleep first though because it's getting late and nasty things will spawn. I have to admit, I am absolutely stuffed right now. Wifey made this like noodle stuff with sausages and like a marinara sauce and it was amazing. And I ate way more of it than I should have. So I've got like that Thanksgiving ache, that like partial food coma feeling right now. And I'm like, oh man, I feel like I weigh about 300 more pounds than normal. But I also did some work in here, which I hadn't shown you guys yet. So I want to show you this. I detailed out the floor. We added some coarse dirt and some oak logs like this just to give us some interest in the floor, and I think it's good. I think it's really good. I've also added a lot of things to the item frames, so good stuff. But we're not actually working over here in today's episode. I just wanted to kind of show you the progress on the Roman Kingdom. We're actually headed back to the Squid farm because we are going to... Right now it's just a red stony contraption sitting out in the middle of the desert, and it looks really bad. So we're going to build a structure around it to make it look awesome, and then I'll come back to you. You know, what I meant to say was that I'm going to head over there, and then I'll come back to you. But instead, I said, we're going to build the thing, and then I'll be back. No. Building the thing is what we're going to be doing in today's video. I just meant that I would head over here and then come back. Words are funny sometimes. Anyway, so we are going to build a structure around this super awesome squid farm. Last night, I AFK'd overnight up on our little AFK platform, and I will say that the squid farm works pretty well. We've got a little bit over a double chest of stuff. That should be enough ink sacks to last us for quite a while. We should be good. So let's start working on this a little bit, and I think what I'm going to do is make a whole bunch of smooth sandstone. I can probably tear down that beacon as well, because I don't really need that anymore, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So the actual structure, I think, is going to be centered here, and I think we'll go... maybe leave even a gap of... let's go 5 for now, like this. And then... let's think about this for a minute, because I want to plan out kind of some pillars and things too. So let's grab some regular sandstone. And let's think. If we put a pillar here and here, then this will need to come out to there. Which means this could go straight back. Yeah. This'll work. So here's our line, essentially. 1, 2, and then back like this. And that would give us the space we need right now. Ooh, unfortunately, that would cover this up, though. Our little access thing. Although I could easily move this over 1 block. That wouldn't be a big deal. To just shift this this maintenance shaft, which is that's basically what this is. It's just a ladder that leads down to the guts of the squid farm, just in case... you know, something breaks and I need to repair it or whatever. It just kind of leads down there. So I could probably shift this over 1 towards the center, and I think would be fine. That wouldn't interfere with, like, my item elevator or anything, would it? No. Okay, yeah, this should be good. All right, so let me get some walls in place. Let me get the beacon taken down, some of that other kind of stuff. And then we'll be back. But this is a great opportunity to do a little bit of a time lapse. Alright guys, I am back. I hope you enjoyed that short time lapse, but we've got kind of the base structure in place, and I think this is good. So now we need to detail this out and make it actually look good. So what we're gonna do is right here, we're gonna put stairs on all of these. So now the next step is right here. We're going to take an upside down stair and put it right here in the middle between all of these pillars, okay? And we're going to put sandstone slabs in all the gaps, okay? And from down below, oh, I missed. From down below, this will look like one big continuous sandstone line. This is kind of the same pattern that we used when we designed certain portions of the outside of the storage room. So I think this will be good. Now, back here, there's a little slot, if you will, like a little tiny bit where just one little chunk kind of sticks out. And what we're going to do is in each of these holes, we're going to put cyan powdered concrete. And I think you're going to see that's going to give us this really nice highlight right here. I think that looks super cool. Like just going all the way across. Doesn't that look nice? I think it does. I think it looks amazing. So let me get that done to the rest of this build, and then I'll be back. All right, guys, check that out. Doesn't that look nice? Going all the way around, give us this nice kind of little pop of color. I think that looks great. Now here, I think I'm gonna put in another slab going all the way around as well. And that way we've got just a little bit, yeah. I think I like that better. Just because it kind of re-emphasizes that, that little change right there. Although, yeah, that's fine. That'll work. That's good, because ultimately we're going to need that top one. Yeah. Okay, so this is what we're going to do right here. Going all the way around the build, and I think that's the whole thing, right? Yes. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. Now, next step, let me make sure I have... Yeah, I've got a fair amount of stairs. I think I should probably make one more batch just to be safe, because we're going to need to take stairs all the way around the top portion of the build. And what we're going to do is make those upside down stairs like this, all right? And we're not going to bring them all the way around, but we're going to bring them to probably right about here, I'm thinking. So I'm going to mark these two spots out because this is where that central gateway is, and we're going to want to do something a little bit different there, I think. So let me get that done, and then once again, I'll be right back with you. All right, guys, I am back, and we got that done. I think it looks good. I think it looks really good. Just kind of coming around, you've got a little bit of that kind of nice depth change there. Just out of curiosity, how would it look if up at the top of these pillars Do I like that better? Nope. No, I don't think I do. I don't think I do. So we're going to go back to what we had. Oh, actually, those were full blocks, right? Yeah, those were full blocks. There we go. So we'll get something going like that. I think that's good. Now, we need to sort out this kind of front gate area. And I'm thinking what we're going to end up doing. Smooth sandstone. Let's grab some of this. I think what we're basically going to have here is kind of like a little area. Like the only part of this that I think you're actually going to be able to get to is going to be the chest, right? So we'll have maybe something kind of like this. So, well, actually, I'd like the chest to be parallel with the wall. So let's think about this for a minute. I think we do need a bigger area here. But basically, I'm thinking maybe something like this, right? Just so you can access these chests. Oh, except that won't work right there, will it? We're gonna need a sandstone thing. Yep. So you can access the chests, but you don't get to see everything that's hiding back here in the farm, which also actually saves us quite a lot of detail work on the inside, because this is all ultimately going to be covered up, so you can't even see what's going on there. I will have to torch up that area, just so we don't have, like, creepers spawning in the middle of all of our redstone, but for the most part, I'm just going to be covering it up, and you won't even know that it's there. That's going to be the plan, because I'm a firm believer in coming up, in basically just covering up your redstone, making sure that it's hidden away. Now, we do need some of this, and let's just grab, like, 2 pieces of coal. That should be good. And let's just make a batch of torches so I can torch up the inside properly. Also, I'm thinking right here, we're going to have a door, okay? And this door is going to lead us to this access tunnel. This little, we're going to call it basically a maintenance shaft, because that's essentially what this is. Just this little area right here. I'm going to kind of block it off so you can't see past it, but we'll just kind of do this, and that way there's a way to get from here down to the guts of the farm and the item elevator and all that kind of stuff if we need to, you know, for maintenance reasons, basically. I may even put another door right here so you can access this part of the farm if you need to. But yeah, that should be good. Okay, now right here, we're going to tear all of this out. Like so. I want that to be smooth sandstone. And I think for a floor, I'm kind of thinking birch, because I think that'll actually look pretty good. If I can find it. There we go. I was going to say, I thought I had a ton of birch lying around, and I did. We're good. And it's almost night. Tell you what, let me get the floor in place, let me take a nap, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So I've got a little bit of a floor in place here. It leads back, and then over here is our little maintenance thing. If I need to get down there, I can. I have the ability to do so. I'm going to have a door right here, but we'll get that in. I mean, I don't suppose I have any spruce, do I? Probably not. No, doesn't look like it. So, unless I have spruce in here. No, I don't. Okay, so if I want a spruce door, which is, of course, what would actually make sense, then I'm going to be out of luck. So I'll probably have to run back. But what I want to tackle is this little bit up here. Plus, we're also going to need to cover up that entire thing up there. Smooth sandstone, regular sandstone, there we go. We're going to have to slab off basically the whole roof. So let's take a look. And I am not entirely sure that I adequately lit up everything back here, so let's do that real quick too. That looks pretty mob-proof, I think. Yeah, that's definitely mob-proof back there. Okay, awesome. I do, however, want to do one of those. There we go. Okay, anyway, I digress. Let's work on this little chunk up here. I'm going to come at it from over on this side so that that doesn't interfere with our view. Let's see. So we've got a little area here. We could potentially do something with stairs. I mean, it actually wouldn't be that difficult to basically work in another design, if you know what I mean. Like something like this. How does that look? That looks pretty terrible. That actually looks really bad. What if we do one of those? That's a little better. That's a little better, but not a lot. What if we swap that out and that out? How does that look? That looks weird. I don't like that. Sometimes you just have to like play around with stairs until you get something that you like. That's not terrible. Ooh, actually, you know what could be kind of cool? Is if right here, give me a staircase up, please, thank you. Is if right here, we did something like this, perhaps, so that the blue or the cyan kind of comes up at an angle, if you know what I mean. So like here and then there. Let's see how that looks from a distance. That's not too bad. That's actually not too bad at all. Now, I think I would want to change out this top part for something different, because I don't really like that. But the bottom is not too shabby. So, let's see. Actually, it's not terrible just like that, to be honest. Like, that's not horrendous. And it would be possible to do something like that, just to work in some extra color here on the front. And that would look pretty good, I think. Now, it would look like garbage from the air, but I'm not that concerned with how it looks from up above. I'm far more concerned with how it looks from the sides, right? We got... Oh, I see why this looks off. It's because there. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that. I like that a lot. I like it. Okay, so now I think the next step is for me to basically slab off this entire thing. One thing I do want to address real quickly. Well, actually, two things I want to address real quickly. And just talk with you guys about. So, I guess this is the talky portion of the episode. Kind of. it's not really a talky episode. These are two very brief things. But a couple things that I've seen in the comments that I just want to address before I forget. So, a lot of you have said in the Roman kingdom, build aqueducts. I have gotten probably at this point 100 comments altogether saying aqueducts would be cool. Romans built aqueducts. Aqueducts are amazing. And I just haven't actually addressed it yet. Yes, I fully intend to look into the idea of aqueducts. I've been planning to do that for a while. And if possible, I will definitely include them in the Roman kingdom. It's very fitting. It definitely fits with the theme and the lore and the idea. And I think it's a great suggestion and an awesome idea. So before I forget, aqueducts, planning to make them a thing, okay? Now, I may look into them. I may do some research on them and find out that there's really not a good way to do them in vanilla Minecraft on like the scale that we're building or whatever, in which case they wouldn't be, I wouldn't be able to include them, but I do plan to research them a bit and look into them and kind of figure out exactly what we would have to do to make aqueducts a reality, because I think that's a great idea. So, aqueducts, yes, totally agree on aqueducts. The other thing I want to address is spectator mode, okay? So in the previous couple of episodes, there's been a couple times when I've switched into spectator mode to show you something. Like, for example, underground, right? The farm. Most of this farm is showed underground. Last episode, I briefly switched into spectator mode so you guys could actually see what it looked like underground. And there were some people who said, this is a survival. I thought this was a survival Let's Play with no cheats or anything like that, right? I personally do not consider spectator mode to be cheating, usually. And that is the thing. Big asterisk, right, on it's I think you can use spectator mode to cheat, especially like early in the game. I think it's something that can be done. I wish, actually, let's just grab, do I have more rockets, like, anywhere? I might not, actually. I thought I had, like, a whole stack of them. I don't need the beacon stuff anymore, though. No, not in there. What happened to all of my other rockets? Maybe I left them. Maybe I left them in my big storage room. I thought I brought a bunch with, but they're definitely not in any of my shulker boxes. So, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, back to spectator mode. I just want to kind of clear this up really quick. I do not consider spectator mode to be cheating unless you're using it for cheaty purposes, okay? Like, if I say it's like the beginning of a series and I go into spectator mode to like look for resources and figure out where them diamonds at, or like to help me find the stronghold or something like that, I consider that to be cheating. That's cheaty, and I would not do that. However, if you're going into spectator mode to say, show someone a thing, or to like go underground and make sure that your redstone creation is working, I really don't consider that to be cheating, especially considering that I use a camera account for like time lapses and stuff like that. And that is in spectator mode. Like, I guess what I'm saying is I consider it to be cheating if you're using it for things that you wouldn't be able to do in just like typical survival. Like, if I'm using it to reach the top of a mountain faster, or if I'm using it to like find the stronghold instead of using Eyes of Ender, like, yes, that I consider cheating, and I wouldn't ever do that. But if it's just for like showing you guys how something looks, like a farm or something like that that's mostly underground, which realistically I wouldn't be able to get a good view of it without using spectator mode to show it to you, I really don't consider that cheating, and I don't have a problem with it. Now, with that said, creative mode, bringing in items from creative, that I consider cheating. I consider that to be cheating, with one exception, and that exception being if the game breaks. If there's a bug and you lose your stuff because game is broken, that I consider okay. I don't have a problem with that. I was going to put a little design in these walls, and I realized just now that because of this little side passage, that's going to be a little harder than I thought. Maybe what we could do is something like this? That's not bad. And that wouldn't look too bad. Like, it would look a little bit different on the one side, but I think that's okay. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's do that. Okay. Anyway, so creative mode. The thing with creative mode is that, like, it takes the fun out of it. You know what I mean? Like, why do a survival let's play if I'm going to cheat resources in using creative? That defeats the whole purpose, in my opinion. It takes all the fun out of it. Like, if I wanted to build in creative, I have done creative series in the past where I have built in creative. You know what I mean? Why, if creative is what I want to do, then why not just make the series a creative series? I've done that in the past. I've made creative series. You guys have watched them and enjoyed them. You know, we built all sorts of stuff. I mean, we built the Megiceld from Lord of the Rings, the Great Hall of Rohan, the Golden Hall. You know, we built a Nordic village. We've built modern houses. I mean, we built so many different things in creative that it's been a blast, you know? For me, a survival Let's Play series is a series where you're working for the resources. You know what I mean? You're actually gathering the resources yourself. You're gathering you're making the tools yourself. You can potentially die and lose everything. Like, that's what makes a survival Let's Play series for me. It's not the never using spectator mode to record a time lapse, and I think there was a time on YouTube when any sort of command, any sort of in-game command was considered unacceptable, but I think those times have really changed. I think it's okay now to kind of do certain things like use spectator mode in the name of creativity. I don't have a problem with that. If it makes the content as a whole, if it makes the video more entertaining, and I think by looking at an underground farm so you guys can see what's going on and understand how it works, I think that makes the content better. So I don't have a problem using creative mode in that situation. And the other thing I want to address is that with any Let's Play series on YouTube, I mean, there's a certain degree of trust between the creator and the audience. There has to be. I mean, you guys don't know for sure that I'm not cheating. You know what I mean? I mean, for all you guys know, every episode between episodes, I'm just figuring out what I need for the next episode, cheating it in, throwing it in a chest, and calling it good. Now, that's not what I'm doing, of course, but there's a certain degree of trust that's required for any Let's Play series on YouTube. And to be fair, there are, I'm sure, some YouTubers out there who put on the idea of a survival series or a survival Let's Play and do cheat in all their resources. I'm sure those people exist. And even if they do, I'm not entirely sure that I really have a problem with it. Because if you think about it, like, what is a YouTube series? It is a form of entertainment, right? And I think it's really about the end result of the content. Like, if you watch a show on TV, right? Say you watch a crime show on TV and they're solving a murder. You don't have to know that the person in the show was actually murdered to enjoy the show. And obviously, you would probably hope that the person in the show was not murdered for the enjoyment of the show. You know what I mean? Like, it's all about, I think, ultimately it all comes down to the entertainment value. Now, for me, I enjoy survival because it's fun, it's challenging, and it's very rewarding to, like, look back on all these things that I've built and be like, wow, that was a lot of work that went into that. Like that cathedral, for example, that's in the cathedral in Solus. I am very proud of that thing because it took forever. And it was a ton of work. But because it was such a large amount of work, I'm really proud of it. I mean, this world as a whole is kind of my baby. You know, I mean, I've done so many things in this world that I'm really, really proud of in a lot of ways because it's just been so many things, you know? Do we have any regular sand so I can fill this in? Yeah. There we go. It's just so many things that I'm proud of, and I think if I throw that out, and I think once you cross the line where you're cheating by using creative mode, I think that really kind of compromises the whole integrity of the world, and you really lose something at that point. So I am extremely hesitant to use creative mode in any of my series. In fact, there have been times when you guys have actually said, oh, just cheat your stuff back in, or like, you should play with keep inventory on, or things like that, and I don't, because it takes the fun out of Minecraft for me. So I don't use creative. And in cases where I have used creative, in the very rare cases where that's happened because like the game has broken in some way and I've basically been cheated, I tell you guys. I can think of maybe 2 occasions in like the lifetime of my channel where that's happened. Like, it's very, very rare. And I can think of one time when it happened where the game broke and I probably should have cheated in my items and I didn't. I remember one time I went into the end and I just fell into the void. Like, I didn't spawn on a platform. I just went into the end and instantly fell into the void. Like, that would be a situation where I think it would be permissible to cheat your items back in because you didn't do anything wrong. You know what I mean? It wasn't your lack of skill. It wasn't your lack of skill at the game that caused things to happen. It was that the game fundamentally broke. And I think in situations like that, it's okay to use creative. The only thing in this world that I do use creative for, and I will actually say this, I do use creative for the Hall of Patrons to cheat in the player heads because it's the only way I can get them. There's no other way to get the player heads for the Hall of Patrons. You have to use a command. I think the command is like give your name, Minecraft Skull 13, player name, and then their name like this. It's something like that. That I have it written on a sign in the Hall of Patrons so that I don't forget it. But that's basically the only thing I use creative or commands for in this game is to is for the Hall of Patrons. For the most part, I don't. I do sometimes go into spectator mode to give you guys a better camera angle or to help explain something or for time lapses and things like that. But those instances are few and far between. And I mean, when I do use commands, you guys know, I have really nothing to hide here. So, and there's a certain amount of trust that's involved. And if you guys want to use, if you guys want to believe that I am cheating, so to speak, by going into creative mode, or I'm sorry, by going into spectator mode, that's perfectly fine. Different people have different ideas of what's considered cheating and what isn't considered cheating. I mean, I don't cheat by my standards, but my standards might be different than somebody else. Just like someone might not look at the keep inventory game rule as cheating, but other people might. One example, I have fire spread in this world turned off because it facilitates building. I can do cool things with fire since it's not going to burn my world down. But some people would look at that as cheating. You know what I mean? Different people have different ideas of what is considered cheating. I consider cheating at items to save yourself time and resources because you're lazy. That I consider cheating. I guess that's kind of my test for it. Am I doing this because I'm lazy? Or am I doing this because it makes my content better? Like, I think that is really the test. And if the answer is I'm doing it because I'm lazy, then it's cheating. if that makes sense. But anyway, guys, I think that is going to do it for today's episode. I'm out of time for this one. This short little talk turned into a little bit of a longer talk, but we definitely got some work done today. We got that farm all built. We got a new house up today earlier in the live stream, which for you guys was yesterday. And, and I got this all detailed out as well. I don't know if I'd actually showed you this, but the walls of this building are detailed out, and the inside is too. But anyway, guys, that is going to do it for me. My friends, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it. It really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Links in the video description down below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.